Today I'm going to be talking about writing equations of parallel and perpendicular lines. First off, we have to remember the slope of parallel lines, relationship of the slopes of parallel lines, which are that they have the same slope. We're going to use that today. Also, the slopes of perpendicular lines are opposite reciprocal. That means change the sign and then flip the fraction. So we have to remember that. All right, so let's look at our very first one. It says, write an equation of a line that passes through point P and is parallel to the line with a given equation. Parallel is our key word. Then we're going to graph both equations of the lines to check if they are parallel. So the first thing we're going to do is I give you an equation. And this equation is going to be parallel to our equation. And since these both are parallel, we know that they have the same slope. And the slope of this equation is -1/2, so our slope is going to be a -1/2. And to write an equation, we have to use y equals mx plus b. Now we already have the m, so we have to find our b. And the only other piece of information that they give us is our point, and our point is an x and a y. So this is an x and this is a y. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to plug in these pieces of information to solve for our b. Our y value is 0, our m value is a -1/2, our x is a -2, and then we do plus b. We're going to multiply -1/2 and -2, and that gives us a +1, and then we solve for b. So b is equal to -1. Now that we have our two pieces of information, we can write our equation, which is y equals a -1/2 x minus 1. Now let's graph this. Our y-intercept for this one is a -1, so we graph that, and then we graph the slope, down 1 over 2. I'm going to do that a couple times to kind of get a feel for that line, okay? And then we're going to graph the original equation that they gave us. The y-intercept is at a 6, and the slope is down 1 over 2. So if we take a look at this, these are definitely parallel lines. So let's do another problem for parallel. So this one is write an equation of a line that passes through point P and is parallel. So parallel is the key word. Now, if you look at the equation that I give you, it's not in slope-intercept form, so we have to get it in slope-intercept form. So we have to get the y by itself. To do that, we subtract the 2x. So we get -3y equals -2x plus 6, divide by the -3. So y will equal 2/3 x minus 2. Now the slope of this line is 2/3, and since this line is parallel to ours, our slope is going to be the same as well. So our m is 2/3. So now all we have to do is find our b. So to give us our point, which is our x and our y, so let's plug everything in. Y is a -3, m is a 2/3, x is 2 plus b. So now we have -3 equals 4/3 plus b. Subtract our 4/3, and we can use our calculators to find out what that is. And we get a -13/3 is equal to b. So now we can write our equation, which is y equals 2/3 x minus 13/3. So let's graph this. Our y-intercept is a -13/3, which is about -4.3. So we do a -4 and then a little bit after. And then our slope is rise 2, run 3. So I go up 2, run 3. Up 2, run 3. Up 2, run 3. There's our equation, and then let's graph the original equation, which is in black, and our y-intercept is at a -2, and our slope is up 2/3. And those, yes, are definitely parallel. All right, we have one more for writing an equation of a line that passes through point P and is parallel. So we have another parallel example. And so this one's a little different because I give you x equals 5. Now, if we remember back to Algebra 1, the equation of a line that is x equals 5 is always straight up and down. It is vertical. So at 5, I'm going to draw a line that is straight up and down. And that's an undefined slope. So there really isn't any numbers for us to work here. But our line goes through point -1,6. So let's graph that, -1,6. Now the only line that can be parallel to a straight up and down line is another straight up and down line. So this is going to be x equals, and it's sitting at -1. There's our equation, and we've already graphed our two straight up and down lines. Now if it's y equals something, it's going to be a horizontal line. All right, next up, write an equation of a line that passes through point P and is perpendicular to the line with a given equation. This time, we're going to look at the slope in the equation, which is a -2. And since our line is perpendicular to that line, we have to take the opposite reciprocal of that, which is a +1/2. So this time, with perpendicular, the slope changes. So our slope this time is going to be a +1/2 because we have to take the opposite reciprocal of the slope that is given. Now, we can plug this in. This is our x, that's our y. Y is 3, m is 1/2, x is 2. 1/2 times 2 is 1. Subtract, and we get 2 is equal to b. So now our equation is y equals 1/2 x plus 2. Let's graph that. Our y-intercept is at 2. And our slope is rise 1, run 2. And let's do that a couple times. And we've got our slope. Now, our original equation is at also 2. But our slope is a -2/1, rise over 1. So we go down 2/1. Because now these are perpendicular lines. So they will intersect and form a 90-degree angle. And those are definitely perpendicular. All right, I have one more example for perpendicular. Make sure that we see that is perpendicular. Okay, and this time, once again, I didn't give you an equation in slope-intercept form, so we're going to have to get the y by itself. So first thing we're going to do for this one is distribute. So we have y minus 6 equals -3x minus 3. We add our 6, so y will equal -3x plus 3. So the slope for the original equation is a -3, but our line is perpendicular to this, so we're going to have to take the opposite reciprocal, which is a +1/3. So our slope is a +1/3, and we have to find the b. Our point is x and y. So now we can plug in our information. Y is a -3, m is a 1/3, x is a -5. -3 equals a -5/3, and we're going to add the 5/3 to both sides. And that will give us a -4/3, which is our b. So now our equation is y equals 1/3 x minus 4/3. Let's graph this. A -4/3 is about a -1.3. So we're going to graph that on the y-axis, and we go up 1/3. We're going to graph our original equation, which is a +3 intercept, and then a -3 slope. So we go down 3/1. Those are definitely intersecting and forming a 90-degree angle, so those are perpendicular.